Hello and welcome to the section on date and time. Let's look at the section objectives. After completing the section, you will be able to learn to print date and time. You'll understand how to convert timestamp based on different time zones. Means you want to print a timestamp for any specific country, you should be able to do it. Then we'll look into common use cases of date. Then we'll work with exercises, interview question, resources and assignments using date and time. So this way you will try to understand how to play around with date and time. Okay, so let's jump into the lecture now. Hello and welcome to the example 1. Learn how to print date and timestamp. Okay, so I'm in the date and time folder, example 1. Let's open up this folder. The logical flow is to use the standard functions to print date and time. Out of this, we will create this file. So we will go to www folder and we'll create a folder here, call it date, and we'll store the file here. Okay, so let's print a date. So before that, I want to show you the shorthand notation of the date. You have a date function and it has two parameters. First one is the format. You have to specify which format you want to print the date, and second is a timestamp. So let's look at the date with the format first, then we will jump into timestamp. So how to print a date? The formatting could be of this type. When you specify D, it represents day of the month. The big D will represent Monday to Sunday. The small m represent numbers. Big M represents Jan, that's the spelling of January. Small I is only 2-digit year. Big Y will show you 4-digit year. Okay, so let's do some example here. Echo current date. You can say date. Date accept two parameters, format and timestamp. Timestamp is optional, so you have to specify the format. Okay, and you can use this notation DM all small. We'll use the same example and we'll use all the caps. Okay, the definition of D, M and Y is all here. Okay, and only thing you have to pass is the format. Okay, so the small numbers, mostly it will capture all the numbers. The big letters, the caps letters, mostly it will capture the words. For year, if you specify the big Y, it shows 4 digits. Small y will show the 2 digits. Okay, well, this is the shorthand notation for the timestamp. Small h represents 0 to 12, that's the hours. Big H is the 24 hours clock, it will show from 00 to 23. Small I is minutes, S is seconds, and A basically is AM or PM. Okay, so let's print this again in using the timestamp as well. So I'm going to copy this over. Let's pass the timestamp now. So we will say H, minutes, seconds, and then AM or PM. Same thing we will do in caps. H is caps and A is caps. Okay, let's print this now. So we are able to print the time as well. Okay, AM and then AM in small and big caps. Then 24 hours clock is anyway not showing the 24 clocks, but if you have hours in H, then it is representing with the 24 hours clock. If you want to show the milliseconds, this is the time in the milliseconds. You just have to say time and it will show you the time in milliseconds. Okay, that's the time in the milliseconds. And let's say you want to increment the time, right? You want to see if you increment the time, how you're gonna convert it and show it into a date format. So for that we'll say time and we're gonna say time in milliseconds plus 1000, and let's print the date timestamp. Okay, now this date will print the system date. What if you want to show your own time? Okay, that's where you basically pass your own time. Okay, this is the time in milliseconds, and this we have incremented to like increment by 1000. So now we are showing a different time based on our time that we have in our time variable. Let's save this. Yeah, so you can see it's 1943, it was 26. So we have incremented the time. Okay, so that's a good way to understand. If you want to increment the time, you have to play around with milliseconds, and you can add up the numbers to it and convert it back. When you display it, convert it back to a date function, using which you can do the formatting. And the formatting is very simple. They have short notation for time and short notation for date, using which you can actually print any time format that you want. Okay, so these two very important concepts to remember in date and time is, one is the milliseconds. Once you have a milliseconds, you can actually play around with it because it's a number. You can add in, you can subtract, you can do multiplication, you can increment, you can decrement. So once you do that on the numbers, then you get to convert into the dates as well, because once the number is converted plus or minus, you reverse it back to print the date, that is human readable format, and that is easily done using the date function. And you have your formats here. Using any format, you just pass the timestamp in the milliseconds format, and then date will automatically show the human readable format. Okay, so remember these two concepts. Milliseconds is the most important thing that you have to understand. The time that you have is basically in the milliseconds. It is in integers, so you can do a comparison between two timestamps using the milliseconds, and then when you are writing it back, you use the date function to convert into human readable format. Okay, so remember this, how to work with date, and it's a very good example to see how to format the date and how to read a date in the milliseconds. Okay, so that's all the lecture on printing date timestamp, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the example 2, converting timestamps. This is an example where you will learn how to get a date for a specific day. Okay, so open up the converting timestamp. The logical flow is to convert date to a date array, and then we can play around with the date. So part of it will create this file. Okay, so let's convert our date into an array. So for that you can say get date. Okay, and we do a var dump of that array to see what is the date that we got. Okay, so we have got an array of 11 elements which has everything in it. It has seconds, minutes, hours, mday, weekday, Monday, year, y day, weekday, month, everything. Almost you also have the timestamp of milliseconds. Okay, you have all the details of a date in an array format. Now you have the full control of the date. You can play around with this array now. Okay, so let's do a for each of a date array as format and then the value. Now we'll say dollar format, dollar value. We'll not dump it now and we'll print it. So here's a very good way to see. You get seconds, minutes, hours, and all the details of a date. So the whole date is been converted into an array and given to us, and now you can play around with the date. So once you have an array, it's really easy to split and see each of the fields and then compare with any of the other dates that you have. Okay, let's print some values. So you want to print a weekday, so I'm gonna say date array, give me weekday, what weekday it is. Okay, you want to, let's say you have not converted into an array. Okay, you can even do this. You can just get the array and then you can print it the weekday from it. This is a short notation. You don't have to convert into a variable and then print it. You can directly use a function there. Then you want to print an year, and you can still say year, which year it is, and you can go ahead and print that. So weekday is Thursday. There's another way. We directly use the get date, then we got the year. So if you just want to get an year, this is the fastest and easiest way to get an year. Okay, you don't have to go through all the process of converting, formatting and all those things. Just say get date and year, and then it's going to print the year for us. Okay, if you want any other fields, you can still use that notation to access the associative array and then get those specific key, and then you'll get the value for it. Well, that's all about how to convert a date into an array and how to access them via the associative array. Okay, so that's all in the lecture on converting dates, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on common use cases of date. Let's look at the example 3, common use case of date. And the logical flow is to understand some of the use cases that we commonly used using the date functions. So let's create this file. Okay, so one common function is to create a date, right? Let's use a method called date create. Okay, it could be a future date, it could be a past date, or you can create any date you want, and then you can format that date as well. So for starting, we'll say what is the current date, and then you can format this date. Okay, the formatting is what we have seen previously. You can choose any formatting, HIS, anything that we have seen previously, which is a valid case. Okay, the good thing about date create is you can say +1 day, you can say -1 day. Okay, let's print this. Okay, so you get 13, 14 and 12. Okay, +1 -1 date. So it's very easy to play around with date create. You can just mention a specific date +10 +20, and then it's gonna give you the specific date. Let's look at another way. So there's a time. You can convert a string to time. Okay, let's say you have a date that's entered somewhere into the program, and you have this format of date, time, minutes and seconds, right? You're converting into a time. Okay, let's print this time. Now if you want to format, this is a milliseconds, right? So if you want to format it, we have seen this, you can use date method and you can convert into any format that you want now. And you can pass the time. Okay, this is a very valid case. You have a date timestamp, maybe you want to store in a database in a different format. This is the code that you can use to convert it. Okay, so yeah, we have converted into a format that we want it. Well, we have changed the format. We have used the date, month and year instead of year, month and date. Okay, and if you want to check a condition, let's say if condition, right? If time is greater than equal to that time, the time that has been mentioned over here, str time, both is in milliseconds, so you are able to check those integers value. Okay, you can see time is ahead, time is not ahead. Okay, so this is May 21st. So time is ahead, our current time is ahead than the May. We are already in June. Okay, so this is the easiest way when you convert into milliseconds. So remember, these are all milliseconds. and they are numbers. Okay, once you have date represented in numbers, you can actually imagine what you can do with the date. You have to understand this concept, because once you convert your date into milliseconds, you can plus 100 plus 1000, you can compare another date, convert that into a milliseconds, and then you can do any comparison, the number is higher or lower or anything else. Okay, it's as simple as that. So remember, some of the method that I've shown here is very commonly used. First is string to time. You can convert any date and time to milliseconds. Okay, then date is basically used to format the date. You can specify your own time. Then date create, if you want to, don't know, you just want to have +1, like your subscription end in plus 30 days, you just say plus 30. So whatever is the date, it just add up to plus 30 and then give you a nice formatting date for you. We have seen some of the useful date functions here, and do remember and make a practice of using these methods. That's all about commonly used date functions, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on how to print Australian current time. This is your exercise. So open up the exercise 1 folder, open the logical flow. So what we'll do in this exercise is you have to use a method called date default time zone set. You have to set a time zone, and you have to set the time zone to Australia. You can do it like this, and once you set the time zone to Australia, and whatever you print after it, we will get the Australian time zone. Okay, so do this exercise, try to print an Australian time zone. This is a very valid question in interviews or written test, or very valid scenario when you're writing a program. You want to show a timestamp which is based on user's country. Pause this video and do this exercise. You can format the date to any format you want and then print the Australian date. Welcome back. So let's do this exercise. So first let's echo the date default time zone get. So we are trying to print the default time zone first. Okay, just to understand what is our default time zone. Okay, then you can actually format the date, right? You can format the date to, let's say, m/t/y. and AM or PM. Okay, let's print this first. Okay, so it's UTC and that's our time. Okay, so let's now change the timestamp. So we can say date default time zone set. Okay, now you say Australia / Melbourne, right? Then now you can echo the date and time of Australia. Then you can echo the date default time zone get. So we'll see what is the difference previously and then after you change the time zone. Okay, so previously it was UTC, and this is the time, that is UTC time. Then this is the time of Australia, and now the time zone is set to Australia. Well, that's on the exercise on printing the Australian time zone. I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the lecture on showing the time difference. This is the exercise 2. Let's open the logical flow. So logical flow, basically you have to show the time differences. Okay, so you have to get the time using the time function. It will be in the integers in milliseconds. You can sleep for some time using the sleep function, and then after that you get again the time, and then you can find the difference between the two time. You can also use a method called date difference, which is used to find the difference in the date. Okay, you can do this exercise, do your own research and try to find out the time difference between the two timestamps. So pause the video here and do this exercise now. Okay, so let's do this exercise. Let's do the exercise now. So we'll say date 1 is equal to time. We will sleep for, let's say, 10 seconds. We'll capture another time, and we will show the differences between the two. Into minutes, and then we're going to print the difference. Okay, so let's print this. So you have to wait for like 10 seconds. So let's use the method called date difference and find the difference between the two dates. So let's say you have one date. Let's create that into a date. You have a string and then you want to create a date. You have 13, let's make it 15. Okay, and you find a difference now using the date underscore diff method, and you have to pass the start, you have to pass the end and start. Okay, then you can do a print r of date difference. So you are able to find the difference into an array. And if you see this, the minutes is here, hours are here. It's a very important thing to understand. How do you find the difference between the two dates? This is a very good method called date diff. It will compare two different dates. You have to convert it into a date format first, and then you have to pass into this function, and this function will convert the date and give you an array. And in that array you can check what happened, which are the differences that you can find. The exercise is to find the date difference, and we are able to find the difference between the two dates. Okay, so that's the exercise, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the assignment section. Let's do a simple date website. Okay, that's your assignment. The logical flow is like this. You have to build a web page that shows current time. Just show a current time in bold and bigger text. On bottom of it, you can put different time zones. You can put like 5 time zones. When the user select the displayed time zone, display that time, right? When someone go to the drop down and change the time zone, show that time. Okay, it's a very simple exercise, and you can try to use the date timestamp methods that we have discussed here, and then you can show the different times based on the time zone onto the web page. All the best for your assignment, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to the summary section of date and time. By now you should be able to learn how to print date and time. You should know how to convert a timestamp to a different time zone. By now you should know what are the common use cases of date. And I believe you have worked with exercises, interview questions, resources, and also some of the practical tests using date and time. And I believe you have understood how to work with date and time. Well, that's all the topic for date and time, and I'll see you in the next one.